somewhere. Did you get any update on OneNote? Did they get back to you yet?
On OneNote?
I thought you emailed them. I thought you said you were trying to make accommodations with them. I wasn't sure if you got an update.
For the accessibility stuff, you can't have access to it unless I do a lot of work behind the scenes. And since I have a other job that I'm supposed to be doing, you're stuck.
You can't just toss us the OneNote and not touch it on Brightspace at all? And still do your little shenanigans too?
Because when you used to send it to us, like, we couldn't accept, like, we could see it, but we couldn't do anything to it anyways. That's why.
That's not the worries.
But I think it's, I know Rico was explaining it differently too. It's like gotta be accessible at different levels.
What was her approach?
She writes on the whiteboard.
She writes on the whiteboard.
You have to be in class.
So that's why she took 50 markers down the hall yesterday.
Yeah.
She needs a better eraser too now. One of her markers works too well. She's staying the whiteboard.
You know, the funny thing is you got to die laughing here. So maybe you won't, maybe you will. But I have all kinds of whiteboard erasers in the supply closet, and the faculty never asks for them. I have to pretty much go, you want a marker? Yeah. Take an eraser with you and leave it on the board. And they go, what? It's like, seriously, I bet it's worn out. I bet if I look at the ones in here, they're probably crap. There's only one.
It was next door. It's the next door.
You stole it from next door.
Have, like, you should have seen it. It was literally like an hourglass as an erase.
Yeah. So, I mean, I have them to give to them, but they'll never ask for them. Okay. What did we do yesterday? Or not yesterday, the day before.
Oh, we just kind of briefly
We went through that whole stupid... All right, I got down to rolls. Okay, cool. Add a page. I do wonder if there's a way I can just slide it to you without guys.
I mean, I won't tell.
For surveying when we got tossed the OneNote.
Gabe will.
You think Gabe will?
No.
He's a G. You know, I can convince him. I'll give him a baseball bat. Baseball bat.
Jesus. First she wants to fight Sierra, now she wants to take Gabe out with a baseball bat. Okay.
You make me sound like I got problems. I don't.
All right, lecture 2. So a lot of this, oh yeah, there's another thing. You can't underline. That makes it inaccessible too. Because it's trying to read an underline as an HTML file to go, not an HTML,
Like
a hyperlink file.
Yeah.
Yeah, HTML. And it won't read it. And then we have to make sure all the links we send out to websites are accessible also. Life is getting grand for the faculty. So if they just quit on me in the next day or two, it wouldn't surprise me. All right, so is that big enough for you guys to see? And why didn't we get the other screen? Technology. Okay, so these may sound like really stupid things that are important skills, but they are in essence what you deal with every day as the leader of a project and trying to make things go. You need the ability to make plans. Okay, so one of my little exercises down the road, and I guess I better not use that if I'm going to use it. Come up with a better one. All right, here's an example. If you are going to meet a bunch of people for dinner, what's the things you have to think about as you go through all this to get it right? By right, I mean to be successful, everybody shows up to and is eating.
First, you gotta make sure. Yeah, there's a couple of times.
You're planning or you're meeting them?
You're the one planning it.
Right. So you gotta make sure it's like. First, you gotta make sure it's a time everybody can meet. It's gotta be.
When you get out of work. That's what we did.
Okay.
So is it casual or professional then?
Cool. Oh, head count, so you can actually tell the place how many seats you need.
You need a location.
What else?
Count who's always late.
Count for who's always late.
Give them a time that's 30 minutes before so they show up.
When I was an Army cadet, we had this one cadet. His name was Greg Greger. But he was better late than never Greger. If you wanted to get someplace to start at 8 o'clock, you'd be there about 8:20. For the Army, that's a pretty bad way to operate. 8 o'clock, you should have been there 20 minutes to 8. We went on a convoy and we started lining up at 3 a.m. to leave at 8 a.m. It's like, and we sat in the vehicles for the rest of the time between that. So, okay, so time and head count. What else?
Parking.
Parking. Okay.
You need a location. You need to know where you're going.
New location. Hey, by the way, I hit enough on this, didn't I?
I don't think so.
I think you did, but I'm not sure. All right, what else you need to have to?
Like in a sense, I don't know if this makes sense, but like, yeah, dietary. Because like, what if you're working for an all-vegan company? You're not gonna take them to Texas Roadhouse unless they were like peanuts.
You're not going to take them to.
They gotta. That's too deep. That's too deep. But I'm talking like meat versus vegetables type.
But do you get the gist of what's going on here? So in order to execute this, you have to be the one creating the plan. You just rely on everybody to show up sometime. We're going to Sergi's and we're going to have pizza. Sure. Okay. You can show up at Sergi's anytime you want. Well, I open at 4. But maybe I show up at 7.
My pizza party, I guess.
Alright. So, the ability to make plans for people that you have no idea what they're going to do and respond to you about. If you want all your friends to show up, in this case as a project manager, you want all your employees to show up. Or you can think of them as all your friends, and have them show up to the workforce or the job site and be ready to work. Okay? So you need to have that plan. Now, in the longer scheme of things, we're going to talk about plans over many months. Okay? So this gets even more complicated. How do I actually get a group of people to complete projects stage by stage to know that by October 31st, we're going to be able to draw a close to this project and everybody go do their job. Okay? And then you're going to have to deal with, so even if you are the project manager for a particular project, you're going to have to report to your boss who's managing 7 or 8 other projects, but they have the other project managers tying up the resources you need. So how do I convince people to let me run my plan to get my job done the way I want to? See some of the stuff we're going down here with? All right, thinking through schedules. So it's okay to say on, well, what's today? 21st, right? 21st of January is our start date for this particular job. Okay? What do I need to have planned ahead of time, and what schedule is going to happen to get ready to go start this job? Okay? Once I get everybody on site, how do I manage to have the parts and pieces of the job fall in sequence? Okay? So, rule number one, many rules. A rule, you don't have to wait on number one. This is 100 rules to this job. But here's the problem. The electricians want to get on a job first, after the framers are done. But the HVAC people want to get in there first. The plumbers would like to get in there first. Okay? Who do you let to get in first? Everybody wants the building in pristine condition where I have nothing on the walls and I can run on whatever I want, where I want, and how I want. Okay? Because, by the way, in real projects, the engineers don't actually lay out. The wire is going to go 3 feet off the floor through this. No. There's steel, there's metal studs behind this, and there's these little punch outs in there. So they're going to go to the first set that makes them happy. Cool. But maybe the plumbers need to use that for a drain. That's going to be where they want to go. Who gets access to it? When do they get access to it? So those kind of things you're looking at in the schedule to know that I'm going to let Brett in, because he's a nice guy, not because he has any real reason to be there first. That would be wrong. Okay? But if he's the HVAC crew who's going to put big metal ducts in and do things for air distribution, I probably want them in first. The electricians will hate you no matter what you do, because, I'm sorry, all they got to do is run wire. Wire doesn't matter where it goes. They can go up, down, everywhere else. Heating and plumbing like to run downhill. Okay? So we really get fussy about who gets in there first. Plumbers usually get mid-tape way in this process because they can move stuff around, and all waste runs downhill, all water's pressurized and runs up to a faucet. But the HVAC folks have to get all the big pieces of ductwork in to get air where it's got to go. Okay? Yes.
So why can't they both work at the same time?
They can if you schedule it right. But that comes into thinking through the schedule. Okay? And then I could actually throw this one at you, but it's snowing outside again. When you get your major snowstorm, what's going to happen to work? You're going to crash. We tend not to use that in that term. Crashing the schedule is different than actually stopping work. But it's going to take you a chance that you're not going to work for a couple of days, and you're going to do something. I'll give you a great example. You've all seen the Plaza project out here, right? So they started late by about 3 or 4 weeks. No big deal. They had a lot of things they discovered along the way that delayed them even further. They really had hoped by the time that winter got here, they were through the pavers and had it over to the front of the library. They're about 3/4 of the way done with the pavers. And snow hit. It's going to stop. So now they're coming back in about April when the ground thaws out, start putting the pavers back down. Is that going to be productive? I don't know. But Mother Nature has a tendency to get in your way. Okay. All right. So there's that. Control. Ooh. How many people think of yourself as a micromanager or a control freak?
Depends on what it is.
Yeah. Never mind, you're already a control freak. No, seriously. Have you ever thought about yourself? It's probably time. Would you like to be in charge? Okay. Not without getting into specifics, but what kind of things would you like to be in charge of?
I don't necessarily trust certain people's food, so I like to be in control of what goes in any of
one's for you. So you're the guy who's going to run the barbecue for him.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Okay.
He's gonna make us some good ribs.
That's good to know. Sierra, what do you?
Oh, my time.
You're in control of your time. Okay. Sky?
I'd say I'm good with managing people. I feel I'm very outgoing and very sociable, and I'm a good people person. I'm good with communication and understanding what they're trying to communicate.
Okay.
I was a leader. When you said that, I said that's me.
So,
That guy.
let's say
That
this.
girl.
Not to swell your head any more than it already is.
Good luck.
That is a skill that is very valuable as a project manager when you deal with people. Because what I know now is she's worried about her time, he's worried about what he's actually getting fed. And if I was going to run a barbecue, I'd want to make sure that she knew what time to be there and that he was cooking ahead of time so that she wasn't wasting her time waiting on him doing things. Which does explain your surveying fits. So I learned something new today. Okay, about the rest of you, anybody? Are you a control freak or are you a whatever happens?
I care about the outcome, but I don't necessarily care too much about how it gets done, as long as it gets done in a concerted manner. If I'm on the side of Route 11 with two trucks and I have both of them fighting each other, I'd rather let them do their own things as long as they work together to get the job done.
Okay.
So it comes down to managing those two to work together, and that's what it takes. But if they're doing their own thing and it works, then
I'm going to hold that thought until we get a few more people on here, but I have a phrase for you. Okay, what do you like? Yeah, you. Eye contact.
What do I like?
Yeah.
It's a hard question, I'm sorry.
Sports,
No, it's
cars,
okay.
TV shows.
No, but that's why I'm asking. Because you haven't thought of this before, have you? Most of you? Anybody besides Sky thought about this in their lifetime?
It's like you knew. It's what
You
I do
have.
on my free time.
What are you? Control freak or a I don't care person?
Huh? More what?
Or what?
In between. Or in between.
Oh.
More in between. Okay, so you're like Josh. Anybody else? Come on. Go ahead, Brett.
It's easy to catch. I try to be in between, but I notice I catch myself micromanaging more than I check myself. I feel like I don't check myself more when I'm going to the other side. It also depends on who's above you and kind of who's below you. I had a boss.
Oh, that's a good
I
statement.
had a boss that was a micromanager.
Yeah, yeah.
And he thought me doing, he always was thinking I wasn't caring enough. But I can't get myself to, you can't get yourself to someone else's level.
Okay.
And also, I feel like with my daughter, she caught me on this because I was stressing how clean the room needs to be and all this kind of stuff. And she finally was like, what about yours? And I was like, true.
So most of you that had me before understand that I'm an Army officer and I learned leadership from the U.S. Army. And it's okay, but you have to tamper it down. And it was my wife that called me on it one day. So my 9-year-old daughter basically gave an order to, you need to clean up your toys. And she looked at me and said, did you just give a 9-year-old an order to clean up toys? Oh, I guess I did. And it's like, that was a rude awakening. Okay. And it really wasn't what I classified as an order. It was more of a direct tone of, we need to clean this up. But I didn't say we. You need to do this. It's like, that stopped then and there. Although we fought a lot of times about other things, like who's got the pizza box and who's getting in the door first and stupid stuff. Because God, I'm in charge. I'm an Army officer. That's what we're supposed to do. Lead the way, get out in front, and everybody follows. And if you do your job right, everybody's behind you without having to turn around and go, where'd they go? Okay, so one of the things I want you to understand why I'm asking these questions is not so much about project management. This is you in a nutshell, and this is you trying to sell yourself for a job. Okay? So every day you're on the job as a project manager, you're selling yourself to the people that you're working with. Remember, I didn't say for, with. Okay? There's a lot of different groups and parts and pieces, and you need to understand yourself to make friends and not enemies. Make sense? Okay. What were you going to say?
I was just thinking about the micromanaging. I feel like if I'm given instructions, I feel like I would be a micromanager because I follow those instructions step by step. I feel like a lot of people, when they're given instructions, they kind of look at it and they're like, I can do this, I can eyeball it, you know, and that's kind of like the not caring part of that.
Okay.
But I feel like if I'm told something, if I believe that's the way it's supposed to be done, that's how I'm going to do it.
Sweet. So I'm going to use that to tie back into what Josh was doing. And then I want to come back to Brett and this micromanaging and maybe in the middle kind of thing. So one of the best skills you can have is to tell somebody what needs to be done. You shouldn't have to tell them how to do it. Okay? You do go check up on them to see if they need any help getting it done, but you're not standing there going, you didn't do it right. If I gave Sky permission to pave Route 11, do I really have to go out there and micromanage her to go, you need to put a cone here, you need to put a bucket there, that truck's supposed to pull up over here. That's the case, I'm doing the job. It's not what we're paying those people to do. We're paying people to carry out our intent, okay? Not our actual directions. Go back to my daughter, 9 years old. She didn't know what the hell was going on. She was just going to play with her toys and pick them up or whatever was next. I mean, 9-year-olds. You all were 9 once, remember? It's a stage where you go like, oh, whatever. You know, it's not that you have to be mean about things, but you want to give them enough instructions to go forth and carry out your intent. Okay? There's a lot of books out there on this, and the best thing is not to be demanding in what you're asking people to do. Now, Brett, I'm going to warn you. Not that you probably really need a warning, but the verge of micromanaging will come when you feel most stressed out. Okay? When you feel stressed out, you will start to micromanage. Okay? You have to fight yourself to not become that jerk. Micromanaging does not accomplish anything. It's honestly one of the best statements I ever learned in the military was, it's really nice to say please and thank you. Could you please go do this? And when they get all done, thank them for it. It sounds stupid in the military because anybody in here military besides me?
Military family, but not necessary.
Oh, you had the worst end of it then. Military family should be quartered and drawn into another world. Anyways, you can do things in the military that's just because you have the rank and you have the ability to command people to do things. It's not always a good idea to command people to do things. It's a better idea if you can convince them that it's their own idea and let them have the tools and the skills to go do it. And it'd be better if you coach them along the way. So, Josh, back to you and your, let them go do it. And I don't have to tell them how to manage 2 trucks on the side of the road. You're right, you should. But if the new driver's having issues and doesn't know where to go or how to park, you coach them. You can be making more friends that way. But that's all about knowing your personality. You want to be a jerk, or do you want to be somebody that's well liked? The best statement I can give you is, you'll only be liked by a few, and you'll always be hated by most. Because you're the project manager. You're the one that's going to be accountable. You're the one that your boss is holding responsible. But if you get other people to see your point of view and can go do that work, then you're going to be productive. All make sense? Okay. So, long lecture on what to do, not to do, how to be be a better person. But you got a challenge ahead of you. I get it.
I don't know if it's just my experience, but I feel like there's a trend to micromanage when something that's being done is either near and dear to you or something you're an expert. Not an expert, but just
Yeah.
Like I realized at my last job, we had contractors coming in. My background's in gardening. We had a plumber, electrician, and when the landscaper would show up, I felt like I needed to be more on top of the landscaper, just because I felt like that was my expertise.
Yeah.
I felt like, instead of they had to plant some trees, there was always this thought in my mind, like, are they doing it right? Are they doing the way I would do it?
Sure.
So I had to kind of fight that off. Like, just put the trust in them to do it.
Okay.
We hired them.
So, good statement to give you all, but what you just said, but a whole nother thought too, is you're going to have your passions. Okay? You may actually be passionate about how concrete's poured. All the things you're going to want to know about concrete. The other bit of this job is you need to be really familiar with all the other skills that go on. So you can't just focus on, I'm going to see the landscapers. I'm going to go hang out with them. No, you're going to have to learn the rest of the skills. You need to understand how this whole building goes up in the air and all the parts and pieces. Now, is it nice to get involved with the landscapers? Sure. That's not your job. Okay? So you're going to have to teach yourself not to get too hung up in the weeds, no pun intended, the landscapers, but you are going to have to move into every area and walk through and see things. The other bit, and this probably should be a skill, you need the ability to see all things from different points of view. You need to look at something and go, that doesn't look right. Maybe not know why it doesn't look right, but it just doesn't look right, and go ask for some help. Mike McCormick, our facilities director up here, is famously known for walking through a building once being put together, constructed, or deconstructed, and going, I wonder why that bolt was never tightened. And I've seen him do it time and time again. He just has that ability to see things that nobody else does. You need to be that person. But you need to just question it, not actually have the answer. Because you can go find somebody who has the answer. Okay? Maybe they didn't tighten that bolt because they haven't got around that yet. Okay? Maybe they actually missed it and the quality control check was followed up. Okay? Those are the kind of things you want to investigate. But you need to identify things and go see them. Back to landscape. You look at a tree going, well, that wasn't the best face for the tree to put forward. Then you probably want to go to the landscaper going, I need that one turned. They're going to hate you, but they will turn it and then put it back in the ground. Okay? Maybe they did check before they backfill. All right, so here's a phrase that has kept me out of trouble in a lot of roles. Managers do things because it's the thing to do to get a job done. Leaders do things because it's the right thing to do. So I'm not managing this school. I lead this school. I leave it to the faculty to figure out what they're teaching. Now, in that role as a leader, I need to know what all the faculty are doing. And I have this argument all the time with someone. It's like, well, I don't know what that discipline is. It's like, but you're a department chair. You have a PhD. You're really smart. Can't you go find out what they do? I know what they do. Because I went and asked. I don't know, listen to them. Okay? That's the difference between a leader and a manager. Managers walk up and go, Brett, you need to put that tree in this. Oh, they need to focus, sorry. You need to put this tree in right here, and that's where it's going to go. That's because that's managing them to do that job. The leader says, I need to put this tree in, here's the ordinance for it, and whatever tools you need, let's go draw. And you do it. And then I come back to this, back to your point, was once they're doing it, I don't need to micromanage them. I want to give them the freedom and liberty to actually move in the right direction to accomplish the task. And then my role is to walk by and go, hey, Brett, did you have any problems putting the trees in today? No, we had this one that didn't really quite look right. I'm going to take a look at it, and you can go look at it and go, hey, that tree was dead when it arrived from the nursery. Okay, let's haul it out and go get another tree. That's the kind of things you do as a leader. Make sense? At this rate, I'll never write all these notes down. Okay, so contractor fits into a large number of places in this industry. Remember, the only person that actually owns the project is the owner of the thing we're doing. Okay? If it's a highway, it's the highway department. If it's a sewer system, it's the village or municipality that we're putting it in for. If it's a building, it's whoever wants the building put up. If it's a quarry, you're doing dynamite. There we go.
Oh, like Barrett's. Yeah.
Barrett's.
Yeah.
You're got something you're managing there. That's a project for your charge. It's the ability to do the work. Now, we go through a long process of vetting contractors. But you as the project group could be a contractor to the owner. Okay? Which means your boss has got responsibilities to his own stakeholders. Maybe it's a privately owned company and it's the boss's money. Sometimes it's a public corporation and they're all doing something else with their money, basically trying to make the board of directors happy. Okay? But these all still fit in that. The ability to work to a schedule. And it's not just the ability, it's proven fact that I've completed X number of jobs in X number of days with this kind of type of work that got me to this position of being hired to do this as a contractor. I will warn you of this though. Everybody deserves a chance to break into this industry. So you may take a chance on a small company that's never done commercial work before. Don't be afraid of them. Just be cautious of them. As long as they can talk the game right and they know what they're getting into, you may have to go help them be successful. But it's also your job as a project manager to coach those companies, become somebody you can rely on in the future to do things. Because guess what? Companies come and go all the time. Don't just hate them because they're a small company. Hate them because they did really horrible work for you. Hate them because they don't listen to the things you try to help them do. But generally, you want somebody who's got the ability to do the work, and do it to the schedule that you need, and has a proven track record. we go through a whole series of vetting processes when companies are paying. Okay? We'll talk more about that in the coming weeks. Somebody who can provide the quality. You know, if I'm looking for concrete to be poured for a sidewalk, I want a broom finish on it. They got examples I can go look at, see how they did it. If I know that's the end result, they did the work, I'll probably hire them. If I know they've never done the work and any concrete jobs they've shown me look like crap, I'm probably not going to hire them. If I hire electricians to pull fiber optic cable and splice them together, and I know it doesn't work on other jobs, probably not going to hire them. So you as the project manager you are in charge of the quality of the workers that you hire, contractors. So you want to check their work. Josh is looking back at the fiber optic closet. It's not spliced in there, by the way. It just happens to be where it comes out of the ground up into the building. Funny part is we drive across it every day. So it's in a conduit out there that's buried really nice deep and will never break. Money. This is when you get into trouble with the small companies you want to hire, give them a chance. Do they have the funding behind them? Pay their workers to do the work you need to do and get it carried out so it meets your schedule. They can actually cause you problems if they don't have the finances. So you want to check with them and find out what kind of bank statements they have and how reliable they are. It's to find these four things, it's relatively painless. Anybody trying to get in it is part of a builder's exchange, and they are usually reliable. The peers will actually let you know, don't hire so-and-so. They won't be part of the builder's exchange. So it's kind of good. Money, well, money's tight for everybody. We're going to talk about how we pay contractors, we get money back from the owners to pay our subs, and to pay our own employees, cost of overhead and all that stuff towards the end of the semester. But that's a tight thing. But if you can't pay your employees, or they can't pay their employees, you're probably going to be stuck trying to fix a schedule to get people to come in and do some work. You're going to have to hire another contractor, which means a whole other contract, which means your company's lawyers are going to go after their company's lawyers to figure out the cost and penalties that they have to incur because they didn't do it. When you get all done with this fight, nothing but bad blood has been spilled all over the place. So it's better if you can help them along the way. So if you're going to give a small company, we'll pick Brett. He's the landscape company I want to hire. But he's not done many major commercial jobs at this cost level. He's got 5 employees. Okay, so I want to give him a chance. So when I make my schedule for the landscaping project, probably want to give him some leeway in time. So I want to get him started as soon as possible in my schedule so that he's got that time to do it reliably. So I'm not going to force him to do it in 5 days. That would be a hilarious operation. But it's the same thing with the people put the pavers in out in the plaza. They move fast. I watch them. So I'm the geek engineer around here that walks around and gets involved in all construction projects, takes pictures and asks if I can ask questions, and most people tell me the answers. But they literally brought a crew of 6 people in, and just as fast as they could drop down pavers, they were setting it in place. And then one person came along behind and did all the trim cuts on the edges, and they were moving. I honestly, hadn't snowed, they might have by December 1st had them all down. Well, we got snow early this year. You can't fault them for that. So, anyways, that all makes sense? Cool. So that's 7 of them. There's a whole lot more, but these are probably the 7 most important ones. Not that even some of the minuscule ones aren't important, but you're going to have to do things to keep these people on your timeline. Okay? So the estimator. Hopefully this is somebody you're working with in your company who's actually counting, okay, I need 300 metal studs 16 feet long, number 22 gauge? That's not right. But whatever certain gauge they want. They're also going to provide, I need, what do we got? 15 lights in this room. There are 2 bulb lights. Yeah, 2 bulb lights. And we're going to make sure all that's on order. Okay? So if they screw it up, and don't order the right things or get the estimate there for the right stuff, your cost of the project is going to go sky high because they made a mistake. If they make a mistake, Henry, you're going to pay for it. It will be one of 2 reasons to pay for it. It's a delay in your schedule, which is costing you money, or you're going to pay up the nose for something to get it right away. So it'll slap you silly and make you wish you'd done something different. All right. So your estimator is usually your best friend, and you want to talk to them while you're planning the project. And it should be the estimator and the project manager are working together. Suppliers. I want to order 15 lights. I have a supplier that can order me 15 lights by the end of the project. So say this is supposed to end on December or October 31st. Okay? I want the electricians to be able to run the wires and let them dangle until I get the ceiling tile in. But then I need to hang the lights along with just about the time the ceiling tile is put up. Okay? So can I get them so that the lights show up just ever so slightly days before I actually need them, let's say September 1st. Okay? Then I can do the finish work. But I don't want to order lights and have them sitting around since January. That would be really stupid. And it costs you more money in storage. And the chance of somebody will damage them. Or even better yet, this happens on construction sites all the time. Someone decides I could use one of those lights in my garage. You need to account for it. It's better if you don't have it on site, no one can steal it. Right? But you want it when you need it, but just days before. So you want to know you got a supplier that you can trust. If I give you the order, how many weeks ahead of time do I need to do it? And they should be able to tell you. And that, I will give you the reality of life. I'll give you an example. So French Hall up here. They gutted that building. It's supposed to be 18 months, in and out and done. Okay. But,
That's how long it was supposed to take them to finish all.
yeah. Took them 2 years.
Yeah, I did.
And the reason for it was they got almost everything they needed, except there was one major service panel for the electrical system that was backordered. And it was backordered. And it was backordered. And it was backordered. The point that the only thing we needed to complete it was have the electricians install this one panel and tie in the final connection. Cool. Well, that was not the supplier's fault, but it was the supplier's fault. Okay. Things get time to manufacture. So my son works for Stark Technologies, and famous thing I keep track of them with, and they does the engineering and selects equipment for particular jobs, but he has to put an order into Aon down in Texas, and they have to be able to produce the stuff. Right now, it's 9-month wait time on an air handler. So a piece of device is a fan and basically moves air around, heats and cools it, whatever it is. 9 months. So you have to order it now if we're going to complete this project by December 1st or October 31st, I said. So I have it here so I can get it as soon as possible. But I may have to work around the fact that I don't have an air handler on the roof yet. So I install the ductwork, I get everything else done, and then I'm going to bring a crane in and plop that thing up on the roof and fasten it together. All done. And hope in the process that everybody put the parts and pieces in the right places so it's just a quick fit. Odds of that? Slim to none. Okay? Somebody's going to screw something up. You're going to be standing there with a crane for 2 extra days, this thing dangling off the roof, and you're going to have to get it fixed. So you plan for it. Okay? So it's not always the direct supplier you're buying from, but it could be the supplier that is providing the stuff to your distributor. Engineering firms. As a professional engineer, I'll tell you the God's honest truth. Engineers suck. Most of the things they want to do is they want to get the job estimated, they want or designed, they want to get it out there and get it over with quick and move on to the next job. Okay? Right? Sure, Brandon? Yeah. You will be one of them someday. Do me a favor. Don't do that. You want to be the person that deliberately thinks through things. It's cheaper to screw things up on paper than it is to screw it up on the job. But the mentality for years has been, oh, we'll do that with a change order. Don't worry about it. Really? Change order? You understand what a change order means? You guys probably do or don't, but I'll assume you don't. Change order says, I got a problem here and I want to change this, and you have to redesign this for me. And guess what the engineer's like? Well, if they have to redesign it, they get to charge the owner some more money. They got paid up front to do a design. They didn't do it right, but they assumed they could get away with it in a change order, which runs into cost overruns on my project. It's not going to make me as a project manager happy, or my owner. So they should do your job right the first time, or, sorry, I didn't mean to spit at your book bag. Do your job right the first time, or don't do it at all. Okay? It's that simple. We know how to engineer things. We know what we have to do. But people are literally people. Engineers are given multiple jobs to work on at the same time. Everybody's got a rope around their ankle and pull them in 6 directions at once. Okay? I've been there, I've done it, I know it. The HVAC sophomores are in their design course right now, and I warned them, you're going to get your first project, but before your first project's done, I'm giving you a second project. Why would you do that? Because that's how it works in the real world. Get used to it, suck it up. And then, well, are we going to be able to do it? It's like, oh, you'll do it. Every student ahead of you is graduated with the same mentality and that same question. You're just going to live in the lab to work on a computer to get your projects done. That's the way the world works. You're not going to get one job. That's all you got to do. Hey, I'd like you to work over here for company ABC, and that's all you got to do for your time. And bill all your hours to them. No, I need you to work for ABC, DFE, JKH, and when I get all done, I want your hours split up between all of them, and then we'll talk about your salary. In the meantime, as your engineering boss, I don't care. Suck it up. Move on. Figure it out. Okay? So, again, that's why I asked. If you're in that middle zone, you're okay. How do you handle micromanagement? How do you deal with it? If you start getting stressed out, you start micromanaging. So if you need somebody from, let's say you need something from Randy, okay? And you're getting stressed, you're going to micromanage him. He's not going to be as productive as he would have been if you hadn't done it. Okay? See where I'm going with this little Mary loop? Okay? Be nice to your fellow human beings. They're only human. If you want something done that way, go find a computer or a robot to do it. Okay? And good luck at having a good design. I'm not a huge fan of AI. I use AI, but I also think it's got its place. It's just a tool. We need to learn how to use the tool. Sorry, side note on that. Okay, architectural firms. Okay, I'm biased here, so I'm going to admit I'm biased on this one. Okay, architects are my friends, but they're my enemies too. If I'm an engineer, I want a building that I don't have to have the architects involved in, because they're going to ask for the artsy-fartsy side of the world, and I got to deliver it to them. Okay. I think it'd be good. Well, so on your computers, a bridge across the river there. Okay. That's an architectural design. Do I really have to do that? It's a bridge. My God, I can make a bridge. We do it all the time. I just need two rails to hold up the pavement and be done.
But you want it aesthetically.
Why do I want it aesthetically pleasing? I'm an engineer. I don't care. I want to solve a problem, move on to the next problem. And that's literally my personal downfall. I'm an engineer. I'm a linear thinker, and I see problems, I solve problems, I move to the next one. Okay. So okay, great. They want all this cedar in here, and they want to stain it all. We got a little metal roofing on it. There's lights that got to go into it. Is it a cool bridge? Yeah, I have to admit, when you get all done, it's a cool bridge. And the architect's probably the only one to do it. Don't let an engineer become the artist to design your structure, because it'll be a square box, and if you're lucky, we'll put a door in it. I'm serious. All right, so architectural firms will have their say on things. They'll get in there and go, well, you know, I really didn't really think that out well. Maybe we shouldn't use cedar. We should go get teak. Okay, cool. Teak will last forever in the weather. You gotta go to the tropics to find the stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
That costs more.
And it's gonna be expensive. Maybe I could have gotten cedar. Stained it every 2 years or something. You know, kept it the way it is. Honestly, I don't think the bridge has been stained in probably the 10 years it's been up.
Still looks pretty
It
good.
doesn't look bad.
Yeah.
But someday it's going to have to be stained, and somebody on the campus is going to wonder why they didn't stain sooner, because it'll soak up stain like no tomorrow. Code enforcement. Code enforcement and city planners kind of go together. City planners are the ones that are trying to lay out the municipality and make it work and functional and move it into the next direction. Code enforcement is all about how do I keep all the things that are safe for everybody else. Anybody dealt with a code enforcement officer? 2, 3. Experience? Like them? Hate them?
Some are very lenient, and some are just kind of assholes.
Yeah.
The older school ones, my experience, the older school ones were much tougher to deal with, and the younger ones were more like, the older ones would just give you a fine, where the younger ones would kind of work it out with you. Just take what you have now.
So there are code enforcement officers that are jerks. Old or young, don't really matter. There are code enforcement officers that are actually trained in their discipline. That would be cool. They are trained on the New York State Building Code. They all have to get, I don't know, 27 hours every 3 years to keep their code enforcement credentials. So they all wind up every year taking a week to go someplace to get retrained, which is a good thing because codes change and they need to be up to date and understand. The code enforcement may not be an engineer. Good code enforcement officers are usually somebody who wants to listen to the engineer, because believe it or not, I can supersede a code enforcement officer as a professional engineer. As long as it's a matter of good design, and this is the only way this thing's going to stand up, I can supersede them. Would I want to supersede them as an engineer? No, because it's my license that's on the line, and if someone dies, I'm the one going to jail. Okay? So normally we all default to code enforcement and say, okay, the New York State Building Code says this, commercial code for this is this, the electrical code says this, we all tend to comply. And it's a good idea, because these codes are written, well, these are written in blood most of the time. Okay? They're not just somebody who had a harebrained idea and says, well, I think it's important that all doors open outward on commercial buildings. You know why all doors open outward on commercial buildings? Because doors used to open inward, and people were trying to rush out in a fire. A lot of people died. Okay. So all the codes are written in blood. I really do mean that. There's a reason for it. The biggest one is not so much that it's in the New York State Code, but it was in, I think it was Massachusetts, the shirt factory that burned, and all the seamstress jumped out windows shirt factory. Yeah, thank you. I don't remember where it was.
This is New York City.
Oh, it was New York City. Okay, so it is a reason our code is written the way it is. They couldn't get out. They couldn't get out because management chained the doors shut. Okay?
What?
Yeah, management chained the doors shut. They were afraid they were going to sneak out and not be productive.
Well, this was probably what, back in when?
1904.
Yeah,
Like
it was
back in
really
like before the
19.
30s, right?
It was sweatshops.
Right. That sounds very sweatshopy. I
So,
was like, dang.
It's
dude.
things like that these codes are written. People lost their lives to make the codes what they are.
Yeah.
Your job, even though New York City has a bigger population, has its codes, doesn't mean it doesn't apply up here. So literally, you look at every building on this campus, all the exterior doors open outward. And it's really funny when I go into a commercial establishment, could be your local little hamburger joint, and a door doesn't open outward. It's odd to me. How'd that happen? It could be one of those buildings that, well, I'll give you a great example where it doesn't open outward. Chinese, they won Chinese dinner. That building is so bloody old, that door swings in. It should swing out. But because they're grandfathered in, we don't make them change it. But the reason that was written is so if that place ever burned, everybody can escape. Okay. Cool thing is we'd probably throw a table through a window and we'd all get out anyways. All right.
That's a good point, though.
Cool. I just thought of this one. I have to check surgeries. They put a new door in this summer. And I don't know how many times I walked in and out of it. I talked to Frank one day. I said, when did you guys put the door in? Oh, about 6 weeks ago, Mike. It's like, huh. How many times I've been in here since then? I don't know. 2 or 3 times. Never paid attention. Used to have this old green door and then all of a sudden had a glass in it. Truthfully, I'm so stunned by the fact there was a new door, I never saw which way it went. Anybody been in surgeries lately? One downtown here in Canton.
It's like right across from 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
And then doing the construction. I saw the
I think it opens outward. Anyway, so there's reasons for this. Okay. So code enforcement can be your best friend. It can also be a pain in your whats. Okay. City planners are usually just somebody who's trying to. Oh, city planners. City planners are not engineers most of the time. A few places do hire engineers to become city planners. The city planners are someplace between. They didn't really like the world of architecture, and they weren't really qualified to go do something else. So they became a city planner because they can envision things that the rest of us can't. It's important to have a city planner. So anyways, they could be somebody who's trying to achieve something. They don't really tell you what they're trying to achieve, and you got to sort it out with them. Okay? All right, equipment suppliers. I think I mentioned this the other day about renting equipment, leasing it, whatever you're going to do. You want to know that you can get it when you need it, on time, delivered to the job site, because you don't want to have to haul it, because the chances of you having a lowboy and tractor to move it, probably not happening. Okay? So, all right, cool. Somebody remind me when it gets to be about 1/4 after to shut up. You're in charge, Josh, of that. All right, I got to cut and paste something in here. Oops, wrong one. Okay, by the time we get done this list, we will probably be a 1/4 after. So, all right, what did I title this? I didn't title this. That's pretty stupid of me.
Are these definitions we need to know for sure?
These are definitions that you probably want to know. Yes. So I typed them up because it was too much work to actually just big enough to see, or do I need to make it bigger? No, that's don't have to be sorry.
I'm sorry, because we're in the front and still can't see.
My goal in life is to make things accessible. So if you can't read it, it's a problem. How's that? Okay. I told you, don't be bashful. Throw things at me. 10s and 20s work really good. Erasers work. Pencils. I always like pencils. Like that kind of thing. I see you sleeping at it. All right. These are things that you need to have that good skills. If you want to be a leader, you gotta have integrity. Don't go lying about things. Okay? Really want to be honest and upfront. If you screwed it up, I'd rather have you tell me you screwed it up than to have you try and figure out how to blame it on somebody else. Okay? You're gonna make mistakes. If you don't, you're not human. And if you didn't make a mistake, I might be a little suspicious who's actually doing the work. So have the ability to tell your boss you screwed up. They will let you off the hook a couple times. I had the fun privilege one summer. I went out to Cop Construction out in Utah, and Ed Vidal was one of our alums. We went out to see. Say, hey, come on, sit in my. It was a halfway project briefing. Okay. So we brought the estimator in, brought the project manager in. They had the chief operating officer. He was the president and the chief CEO, chief executive officer. And they brought in the accountant and another chief executive in there. But basically, the project manager and the estimator were going to go through the job, say where they were, say how much money they spent, see if they were on track to meet the outcome of the job. Right? One of the cool things I got to witness was the fact that the estimator missed $1 million in their bid. 6 zeros. Still had a job at the end of the day. Now, mind you, Ed Vidal ran a company that was probably making $600, $800 a year. I'd be afraid of that company. $600 or $800 million a year in profit. Okay? He wasn't too worried about it, but he basically looked at it and says, "You won't do that again, right?" "Well, no, I won't do that again." So you're going to make mistakes. But he owned up to it. And Ed took it with grace and understanding because he'd been there once before himself. Okay? So if you don't think you can make a mistake, you are crazy. Okay? Anybody thinks they're going to get a perfect grade out of an exam, you're probably crazy. Okay? Would you like to strive for it? Sure. But by the way, remind yourself, a 90 and above is still an A. It's all said and done, it's 4.0. Your work life, when you get out there, 90% of your work is done right, you've still got a job. If you do 60% of your work right, you're probably going to be without a job. What are you smiling about?
It just got me thinking about the saying I always hear.
What saying?
C's get degrees.
Oh yeah, well, the faculty, C's get degrees. So the faculty use D for done. I don't want to see them again. So if you get an F, you should be suspicious that maybe you got a D and we're just tired of you. Because if you get a D, you can't retake the course without paying for it. If you got a D and you want to retake the course, financial aid will charge you for it. Most people get a D and shut up and go away. So be suspicious of D's. C's, somebody with a C has 70% of the knowledge they need to actually go to work. That's how I look at it. My job is to teach you to go out and have a skill that you can get employed for, and you have some working knowledge. Are you going to know everything? God, no. When I first got on a job, I was an idiot. No joke. Short story. I a chief engineer walked up to me one day and says, "Look, I need you to design this spring for me." I knew I'm a mechanical engineer, right? So I was working for a company that made conveyor systems, and we had these little pallets that had to go out and move throttle bodies around for Rochester Products. And he says, "Design this spring for me." It's like, okay, great, I know how to design springs. I just got done doing that last semester in school. I know how to do springs. So I went back to my desk, got out my book, got out engineering comp paper, went at it. 2 hours later, he walked by my desk and says, "What are you doing, Mike?" "I'm designing a spring." I had 20 sheets of paper and 20 sheets of calculations. He picked them up, sorted through them, looked at them, and went, "Really good. You know what you're doing now?" Like, "Yeah, I'm designing a spring." No, seriously, what were you going to do? I was going to hand it out to the tool makers. So what you're really going to do is have them get a piece of wire, run it around a mandrel to make the spring, right spacing between the spring curvatures, grind the ends off, heat treat the thing, and send it out to the job. Well, yeah, I meant for you to open the Boston Gear catalog, pick out a spring that was going to have the right free length for this particular piece, and get it out to the supply shop so they can get it ordered and give it to the tool makers tomorrow. Oh, I never knew that. Because in college, what they never told me was, here's the way we really do it in the world. No, it was like 20 pages of calculations. Yeah, news for you. That's about the day I understood engineering was 90% shopping, 5% math, and the other percent is seeing what you can do to learn new things. Okay. So very little of what we do is the actual equations. A lot of it is trying to find the parts and pieces somebody else makes. Okay. So anyways, that's not even one of these leadership things. Courage, the ability to tell somebody when they're wrong. And that means your boss. Okay. Good judgment, the ability to make the call when it needs to be made without hemming and hawing about it. Okay. You smile about Sierra.
Well, I think I have experience in that.
Yeah. So, this is no joke. You listen to both sides of the story, you find out as much facts as you can, but when the bottom line comes to it, you're the one making that decision. Okay? And you have to stick behind your guns and say, this is what we're going to do. Okay? So that's the courage, or good judgment, sorry. Desire to help others succeed. I wouldn't be in this job teaching if I didn't really care how you guys learn how to do this. Because I could go do this job and I don't need you to tail along behind me. Innovation. This one's going to be fun. This is one that's going to keep you running the rest of your life trying to figure out new ways to do things. And literally, it's staying up with while the industry's doing things. It's reading journal articles that say, hey, we found this new way to fasten Western red pine together to make a better joint. Okay, you probably want to know that, so the next time you use a job with that stuff, you'll know how to do it. Or you go ask somebody, hey Brandon, how do I wire this stuff up? Take advice from somebody who's got some expertise. Cool. All right, let me wrap up here real quick. Knowledge, just knowing what you got to put together and finding stuff out. Communication skills, writing, speaking, talking, keeping it short. That would be my lesson for today for myself. Analytical ability. You are going to mess with schedules. You're going to have lots of things floating through your head trying to get this all sorted out. Okay? It's that ability to sort it out. Observational skills. That's Mike McCormick's of the world looking at goofy little things going, that doesn't look right. You know, or, hey, that one looks really good. I'll let that go. Okay? Imagination. You're going to have to find ways to get things done that didn't exist before. How do we get a bridge across a river without a crane? Think about that. We're on one side of the shore, and we're not on the other side of the shore. How do I do it? You guys face it every time you do one of the bridges here in the school. Even temperament. You'll be well healed if you learn how to keep your temper and not get mad at people. Will you blow up? Sure. But when you blow up, accept it and apologize for it and move on. You'll have much happier people working with you. Okay? Administrative abilities, we'll go through all that down the time, but the lawyers and the legal rules and all the business knowledge that's come with it. Productivity. How many people feel they're really productive with their education?
That I'm productive.
That's a really good statement. I always feel like when I was a college student, I was on the edge of going crazy, and I didn't know if I was ever going to get everything done. And how the hell did I manage it? I look back now and go, yeah, I moved that one really quickly, and I didn't understand how I actually got that done that time. But I did. It never goes away, by the way. It changes from being demanding to get a grade in, or get a homework assignment to get a grade, to your boss going, I need this today. And looking, where am I going to find the data to make that decision? And how am I going to make that decision? Am I going to get it done tomorrow or the next day? Okay. Passion. You have to be passionate about this job. Do not become anything if you're not passionate about it. My favorite saying is, what you want to do is find a job from some sucker willing to pay you to do the job you enjoy doing. Then you're going to be happy about it. If you take a job and you know you're going to be miserable, you're not going to do really well at it. So you might as well find something you're passionate about. If you're going to be a project manager, it's because you enjoy being Skylar and telling people what to do, but also listening and being a good people person. Okay? It's Josh knowing when it's time to just walk away and let him go figure it out. All right, high energy. This is really important. It's this job that drags you to the bottom fast. And there's nothing about this that's pretty. Schedule's behind, money's tight, and you're trying to figure out how to get to the end line. It's kind of like running a race and having one hand tied behind your back and your ankle tied to your other foot. You're not making much progress. That's the way it'll feel some days. Other days, it feels like somebody just turned you loose and you run a thoroughbred at the Kentucky Derby. Okay. Questions? All right. So, one of the questions I should ask, and you can just tell me later, you don't have to all answer them. You can go home and get out of it. Does this format work for you? If it doesn't, I will change things up, but I'd rather do it sooner than later. Okay? So if it's not working for you, let me know. If it's working for you, probably don't have to say anything. Majority say it's not working, and I'll make some changes. And I will consider how to be devious with formula. Why should you have to rewrite all that? What you ought to do is write down the bullet points. But if I do it, then I'm going to let everybody else do it. But if I can figure out a way around accessibility,
Yeah. That's what I'm hoping for, guys.
yeah, as soon as I get done, I'll download it and get it posted. Okay. All right, folks. Have a great night. Yeah, I started looking at it, and then I discovered there's like no friggin' time. Yeah. I hate to say this. Let me stop this recording.